Welcome back. Time for another Time Guesser Daily. I did quite well yesterday without a timer, so I'm going to try and not use a timer again today, but try and be a bit, efficient. We're in New York here, aren't we? It says New York there. These look like kind of... Are they brownstones? They certainly look kind of brownstone. So maybe we're in Brooklyn. There's a church with a spire. Oh, actually, maybe we're in... No, this is a street with houses on both sides, right? These are like steps here. I think this is a classic kind of Brooklyn... Actually, well, I'll just keep looking, see if I've got any more clues, like street names. No parking. That could be anywhere. Old street lamps could be anywhere. Do we have... I mean, this says grocers, Pepsi branded. We're obviously a pretty long time ago here, aren't we? What is this thing? Is this like a plane crash? I sort of hadn't even really noticed. It's the tail of a United aircraft, which actually changes my perception quite a lot in terms of what year this would be. Ugh, how long have they been around? Okay, so it's some kind of air disaster. I'm guessing this must be... It's certainly post-20s. I don't think it's massively post-1920s. Interesting. What an interesting thing. So, I mean, is there a chance that this is... into the 50s? I mean, I feel like the fashion's kind of all over the place. But maybe this is a 1950s thing. Maybe it's no earlier than that, because we've got a pretty sophisticated looking fire engine. We've got the tail of what looks like a pretty large passenger jet. So I think we're in Brooklyn. I wonder if this is like an early JFK related crash or LaGuardia or something. I mean, we're not going to really be able to do any better than just finding. But yeah, this is all... Oh no, that doesn't look like kind of classic Brooklyn brownstones. Where am I thinking of? Like north of Prospect Park, maybe? It's hard to get a sense of what these buildings look like. My memory of like round here is that these are all kind of brownstones, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's just plonk it kind of somewhere in this part of Brooklyn. Park Slope, why not? Oh, there is that church. I wonder if that's significant. I mean, who even knows how many of these things still exist, but like, would we expect there to be a church near a cemetery? Weirdly, for America, I'm not really seeing any churches. I thought they'd been littered with them. I mean, what do we think? This would be a sort of plane that's taken off from JFK or from LaGuardia, crashed somewhere in this part of town. Where are all the brownstones in Brooklyn? I thought they were littered with them. Maybe it's the upper west or east side or something. Oh, I don't know. I just got to pick a place. Let's just plonk it kind of somewhere between Brooklyn and Manhattan. Like kind of in here somewhere. That'll do. In terms of when this is, I'm really struggling with this. Like, I guess there were big planes in World War II, weren't there? So maybe this is kind of post-war. These people look pretty... I think we'll have to go with the 1950s. I'm not sure on this at all. I'm all over the map with guessing when this would be, but let's try 1951. Oh, it was later. But it was not far away. 1960, really? I mean, like... Okay. I'm surprised by how late that was, but I guess, again, the plane really kind of... Anyway, all right. Right, somewhere Euros. So we're in the 21st century, and we're somewhere on European mainland. Is this in Italian? Or Spanish? El galán de oro sounds Spanish, doesn't it? Compro oro. We must be able to find. Zona peatonal permitted cargo y descarga de lunes a... Yeah, this is in Spanish. So we're in Spain somewhere. Zara is also a Spanish brand, but they are everywhere. Marina rooms. Does that suggest we're somewhere coastal? Feels like there should be enough information in this picture to give us a location. Bingo. So there's lots of hostels. We are somewhere Spanish speaking. That says Madrid. So maybe we are in Madrid and the whole coastal thing is or marina thing is a bit of a red herring. All right, I think we'll have to go with the Madrid thing. In terms of where we are, I mean, maybe we'll be lucky and we'll find a pretty believable spot quite quickly. I'm frantically trying to think about my recollection of the layout of Madrid. There's obviously a lot of hostels. So I wonder if we can find this street. Again, I'll probably skip. Hostel Victoria 2. Okay, I think we found it. Papizza. Yeah, so we're here. Looking up this street. Calle Carretas. Should curve around. Yes, it does. Good. Okay, so we found the location. Can we date it? Can we find any technology? We've got rent-a-bike things. That guy's holding a phone. It's pretty hard to see what type of phone it is. Similarly, looks on the larger end. That looks slightly on the larger end as well. Not seeing any mask wearing. Fashion-wise, how tight are the jeans? Those are fairly tight, but those aren't. These are fairly tight. I think we're still looking at quite a lot of skinny jeans. So I think we're probably... It's not screaming like really recent to me. I think we're a few years ago. So I think maybe we can look at something like 2016 or 2017. Let's try 2016. Oh, 2019. Okay, well, we got 5,000 points for the location. Docked a few points on the year. Okay. Picture number 3. Gosh, another Burger King. It's a Burger King kind of day. Right, these cars are looking quite 80s, 90s. I would say, yeah, we're kind of maybe just creeping into the 90s here. Like that's about sort of 1991, isn't it? Something like that. We are looking down a street which has lots of Arabic. It's not... definitely not Dubai. We know that much. This is not what Dubai looks like at all. We've got this hill with... Let's have a think about some Arabic-speaking countries. It's quite westernized. Chateau Trian. Can we see any? Hospital Al... that looks like AFZ or APZ perhaps? Hospital. So I think we're in northern Africa here. If we've got a kind of combination of Arabic and French, Obviously, there's quite a lot of English as well. Oh, look. Big Fire Highway. Right. And there's a blooming great booze advert. Huh. So it's obviously a pretty liberal. Oh, look, that flag I recognize. Oh, that symbol I recognize from a flag. Does that say Lebanon? 2003. All right, well, let's look at Lebanon. Here, yes. Could this be Beirut? What was the name of that thing? Big Fire Highway. Beirut Cider Highway. Nasrallah Street. Damascus Highway. Route 20. Does that have a nickname? Like Big Fire Highway? Airport Highway. Sea Highway. Guess it could be Tripoli. Sea Highway again, Sea Road. What's this street called? Boulevard Béchara. Okay, so we've got some French language, which is a good sign. Again, I'm just going to scour the map and probably skip to the moment where I find, hopefully, this Big Fire Highway. Sun's coming from this way, but it doesn't tell us a huge amount because it could be morning or evening or anything really. That sign says Tripoli. So, like, we are, given that Tripoli is kind of to the north, I think it's safe to say that the sea is that side. We're going kind of north-south. And perhaps we're in one of these, like, really north-south highways. That definitely says, like, 2003. I think this must be later than it looks, because it might just be that a lot of the cars, I mean, we had this thing yesterday with Turkey where that car was from the sort of mid-70s but the photograph was from the mid-80s. I mean, yeah, maybe some of these cars look a bit more recent. Maybe we should take that clue and say it's like 2003. I think that's what it says. It's possible it's like marketing something like a year before it happens. Let's try that. 02. I'll be annoyed if it is 03. Gosh. This is. I'm struggling to find a highway that kind of matches this layout. That's definitely the name of a road. And we're looking uphill to the right-hand side where we can see lots of, like, is it possible it's this street? All right, we might just have to pop this down in somewhere and hope for the best. This sea highway seems to be the most kind of likely street, given that it's big and it goes the entire length of the country, but I want to find a bit that kind of matches what buildings we have, but I'm struggling a bit to do that. I'm a bit stuck here, but I'm just going to plonk it down in the middle of Tripoli somewhere on like a north-south road. I'm struggling to find a road that actually matches this thing, but let's just plonk it here. I think that, I mean, I know that's wrong. That's the problem, is I know it's wrong. But in the absence of any better guesses, yeah, I just don't know. Let's just plonk it there. I really don't know. And then let's say 2002. Oh, what? So it's so it was the 90s. So what the heck is... Maybe that doesn't say 2003. I was a complete red herring. And the road wasn't going north-south at all. It was going... Oh, okay, fine. I guess alright, I was completely thrown by that. Oof. 7 years off is no good at all. But okay, well, we're okay with the location. We got the right city. This is Barcelona, obviously. That is the Sagrada Familia. in the early stages of being built. Which side are we on here? Yeah, I think maybe we're this side. Have we got a thing? Like a loop of things coming out that side. All right, let's plonk ourselves kind of here. Like there. When did they start building the Sagrada Familia? It was a long old time ago. Let's do some detective work with these people. Big, wide trousers. Some time ago, isn't it? I mean, my immediate thought with this kind of wide leg is, what's his face from the, the Cillian Murphy atom bomb guy. But that would be hang on. Would that be the 40s? That was joint? How am I forgetting the whole thing, even though I saw that film? Yeah, that was the development of the bomb. So that was the war. Could this be that far back? I mean, Gaudi. I associate Gaudi with early 20th century. Did they start? They've always been building this thing for quite a while. I think we must be further into the future. I'd say we're probably into the 60s here. Do we have anything besides clothes to go on? Look at that old car. But I mean, this thing has been being built. If they started it in like the 1920s, this is a good, I'd have thought 20 plus. I suppose, yeah, that would put us in the 40s. Maybe it is that long ago. I just don't know. Maybe we'll say 1950 just to play it slightly later, just because, I mean, that car though is pretty old. I'm trying to think what era these kids are. They're pretty smart, so they're obviously 40s, 50s kids, I'd have thought, something like that. What else have we got in terms of clues? Not a lot, really. Right, well, I don't know. I think that's maybe about as good as we're going to get. I think that I'm gonna ignore that, and I'm gonna focus on the fact that these people have I don't know how long the pushchairs and things go back. Probably pretty far. I don't know. I could be well off here, but there's a range of 30 years that I could justify placing this. So I think I'm just going to plonk it sort of slightly in the middle of that. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a bit further away from the Sagrada Familia than it looked, but we only lost 2 points on the location. Over 9,000 points on the gas. 4 years off. I'm actually kind of okay with that. I was expecting to be worse than that. Right, final round. Okay, we are in France. We're in Cannes. L'Observateur 40 Révélations en 50 ans avec le Festival de Cannes. So this is 50 years of the Cannes Festival. I do not know when the Cannes Festival began, but we are obviously somewhere in Cannes, which is here. I would say we are on the Croisette, which is this section here. We're probably not far from the festival building. Can we kind of get a glance at... I'm trying to think... John Taylor. We've got one of these newsstand jobbies. I think there's a few of those around kind of this area. Could we be by this one here? I think we're somewhere on, as I say, on the Croisette. I don't know exactly which building. It's quite hard to tell from above, but this seems to have kind of maybe quite similarly shaped. Can we tell anything from the... We're on rollerblades, so I think we must be in the 1990s. I think we're probably in about 1997. Because, I mean, that feels like the height of So that would put the first year of the Cannes Festival in about 1947, which maybe feels about right. This looks kind of pre-internet, doesn't it? I'm not seeing any evidence of things like websites in any meaningful way. I think maybe we'll go with... Well, we need to pick one of these. I don't think the building we're looking at here is this one, because that's set too far back. So I think maybe we are more like here. So let's plonk ourselves. I mean, have we got a tree with a kind of... I mean, that says... could that be all the way down to Public Loos? Maybe. Okay, let's say here. I think that's going to be not a million miles away. We're definitely on the Croisette. Right then. Okay, I think we'll just do that. 50 ans Festival de Cannes. Yeah. Okay, let's just go for it. Let's try it. Yes. Oh, look at that. 10,000 points. What a way to end. All right. How does that net out? Almost 45,000. Let's remind ourselves. Oh yeah, this one, that's quite far off the time-wise. But yeah, that plane was an odd one. Quite happy with that location. Good with that location as well. 9 meters and just 3 years off. 2.3 kilometers. I was in the wrong part of Beirut. Yeah, that one was baffling. 83 meters, 4 years off. That was a pretty straightforward location. And then, yeah, dead on. Very happy with that at the end there. What a way to go out. All right, well, just shy of 45,000. That's always the threshold, I think, which demarcates like a really good, solid score. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't already and you enjoy watching these. I do try and do them every day. So yeah, see you next time.